Hello traders, welcome to Ascendex Easy Options. I am not promoted by this exchange by any means. I just want to show this one tool that my community has been using to make some pretty crazy returns. I will say, disclaimer, this is a little bit like, Rollbit-esque, if you know Rollbit futures, but it has some features that are very gameable, and you can make a fair amount of money that way. So if you use Rollbit 1000x leverage, you can be liquidated almost instantaneously. This way, you can do something a bit similar, but you're not going to be liquidated. So these are binary options at different strike prices. Now, what that means is that these contracts either expire to a value of 0 or to a value of 1. So what that means is that if you were to, say, buy this contract right here, let's go look at the details of this contract. Let's say that you think that Bitcoin in 16-17 minutes is going to be below 25,980, which is a, fair assessment. That would just be below support. If you think that's going to happen, you could buy this for 22 cents. Now, the thing is, or 21 cents. Now, if Bitcoin does in fact do this and settles below 25,980, you would make a 5 times return. It would be a very, very good return. So if you were to put in, let's say, get 100 contracts for a risk of 17 bucks, or now 16 bucks because, price is rising a little bit, you could essentially, 8x your money in 16 minutes. So the really good thing about this is, yes, they are binary options that you can buy very cheap and have them, expire, as you can see right here. I've had multiple 705% returns. This one I got in 9 minutes after buying this for 5 cents, and then I sold it at $1. It's pretty crazy. I didn't sell it at $1. It settled at $1. Essentially, if you can predict volatility better than the market makers can, you can make money this way on Ascendex. Okay, you can see I made 251% there, 705% here. Yeah. So if we look at this one right here, you can risk 15 bucks to now make 100 bucks. So 15 bucks to make about 85 if price is below 25,980. Now the really interesting thing about this that I think is the most gameable, you can sell these early. So if you were to, let's say, buy this for 15, then let's say that the price of Bitcoin goes down to 25,980 right now, and you don't really want to hold it because you have to bet that it settles below 25,980. You can actually sell these early. You can sell these early, and you would probably make about a 3 or 4 times X on your money, because the contract value, if Bitcoin were to go to 25,980 right now, the contract price would be about 0.5. So you'd make about, like a 4x return. But if you were just to hold this until expiration, you could turn 14 bucks into 100. So that being said, these contracts are very easy and very gameable to, have like 705% returns, as you can see. It doesn't always work out, as you can see right here, but for me, more often than not, it's paid very well. So that's essentially what these contracts are in the 30-minute and the 24-hour. You can buy a contract, you can sell it early whenever you want, and the contract price is basically the probability that something will be in the money, okay? Because remember, there's only 2 binary payouts for each of these options. It will either pay 0, I mean you just lose, or it will pay $1. Now, what they do is if your contract expires for $0, you don't pay any fees. But if your contract expires for $1, then you do pay fees. That's the way that they have it set up. So the 24-hour ones, obviously you have a lot more time, but we can go look at some of the prices right there. So this one's quite insane, but it's got such a good return because price is not close to 25,600 and it expires in 10 hours and 43 minutes. So let's go look at this. So if you were to do this with, let's say, 500 contracts, you would have a risk of 30. You'd be risking 30 to make 500 bucks. You would never have to worry about liquidation either, and you could sell this early. That's the very large benefit of this. You can always sell these early. So with that being said, if things go your way, I mean, you would get like a 15 times return or something crazy like that. And if price began to fall to, let's say, like 25,800 today, you could probably sell this for maybe like 5 times its value. The 24-hour binary options are going to be a little bit more similar to traditional options, but these are just like Rollbit-esque 30-minute like fast expiry options that I kind of like. Now, you can also do them on Ethereum, and I think Ethereum's a little bit more mispriced when it comes to options than Bitcoin. So if we look at Ethereum right here, let's say I want to bet that price is going to settle above resistance or below support. Let's go look at some of the prices we can get. If I want to bet that Ethereum will be above 1651, I could make a 6x return. 505% is the same as 6x your money, just math, okay? A lot of people think that a 500% return means that you 5x your money. It actually means that you 6x your money, but okay, math. But you can see that this option's already gaining a little bit of value. You can also see the contract price over time and just how, gameable these are. Like this one right here, not much on Ethereum has really happened, but look how much the value has fluctuated. You could buy it at 13 and then sell it at 22 for like almost a 2x profit. And what did Ethereum do? Nothing. It went up like $1, and you can double your money that way. If we look at the 1649, I think this one, this one's had a fair amount of fluctuation as well. So you can see right here, it was trading at like 26, and now it's double that, or almost double that. If we look at which ones have been the craziest, this one. Yeah, this one as well. Well, this one is probably going to expire in the money. So let me just interpret all the things for you guys here. Bear means that you need the underlying to settle below the strike price. Bull means you need the opposite. Means that you need the underlying to settle above the strike price. Now, what we have here, settlement starts in this time. The settlement for a 24 option is a 30-minute average price when it settles. The way that these contracts work, there's no average price. They just use the last price at the time of settlement. That's all that they do. Other people are already trading a lot of these, I see, because there's only 327 left. So as you can see here, you would just need price to settle below 1651. Now, if we look at some of these are probably going to be very out of the money soon. This one seems like a crazy good bet. Now, I don't think that Ethereum in 10 minutes will be below 1645. I don't think that will happen, but just because you don't think something will happen doesn't mean that it's not a good trade. What do I mean by that? Well, look at it this way. If you were to buy this right here, for let's say that you want to put $8 into it. You buy 100 contracts for $8, okay? If price does settle below 1645, you're gonna make a 12, 13, 14x return quite easily. Okay, just like that. Now, if you don't think that price is going to be below 1645, another thing you can do that I've been doing on this platform a fair amount is you can buy these contracts, and then once price begins to go a little bit in your direction, you can sell them early and make a fair amount of money on very illiquid contracts that way, or very out of the money contracts that way. Because just the slight movement of them being in the money can make you a fair amount of money. So if I look at the 1648 bull contract, you can see here that had you bought this at, 34 cents, this would have doubled in money. So that's essentially what these easy options are. They're called easy options because they're just 30-minute binaries. I have gotten some pretty good trades recently. If I show you my other recent history, made 1669 here. Had some losses there. Made $56 here though. So I'm up money right now because you can see. And I have a lot of other small trades, but overall I'm doing well here. So yeah, these are very simple options. They're just expiring to either is price above or price below. The 24 hours are great because they give you more time for you to be correct in your bet. But this is just basically a simplified options contract that can be very gameable. Now, the final thing that I want to say is I'd say the most money that could probably be made here is volatility shock. Whenever the price of Bitcoin or Ethereum has sudden volatility, it suddenly surges higher, suddenly surges lower. The way that I was able to get that 8x return that I showed you guys, the 750% or whatever it was, return was because of volatility. Bitcoin had just done something crazy, and all I did was just bet on price going the other way. So an example of that, let's say that you see Ethereum do this. Let's take two platforms. Let's say that you use Rollbit to try to 200x leverage or 1000x leverage. You'd be liquidated. Let's say that you do this on Ascendex though. These expire every half hour. So if you had done this on Ascendex and just bought a bear at, let's say, 1660 when the price was at like here, you would have made probably about a 20 times return because that contract would probably be worth about 5 cents. And then if you had waited till expiration, you would have 20 extra money. the way that you're able to make these kinds of trades are just certain volatility out of nowhere. Taking the opposite side has been quite profitable, because typically mean reversion happens quite quickly. So whenever something gets just suddenly very low, it doesn't matter if it keeps going lower, because you're only risking 5 cents per contract, which means that if you buy 1,000 contracts, at most you're just going to lose $50. But if price goes in the money for you, you make $1,000 essentially. So that's what these options are. My community and I have just been hammering them, especially the 30-minute options, because so many of these, when the market gets very low in volatility and then there's a volatility shock, they can pay out a very nice rate. Even this one right here, like, this might not seem crazy, but price is only $6 ahead of this strike price. So if price just goes $6 lower, this is going to make you 2.5 on your money. Now it's going to make you triple on your money, essentially, if price just falls a little bit down to 26,020. So these are the kinds of things that I look for on Ascendex. Now, I can't fully vouch for the platform because I haven't even spoken to the creators. I have been able to withdraw, and I am up a few $100s as of now. But of course, this is going to be at your own risk. For me, I find it's a very good alternative to Rollbit and other highly levered platforms, because you can't be liquidated. The most you can lose is just what you put in. There's no, price liquidation issue. Because if you're out of the money, you just lose what you put in. If you're in the money, you make like 18x your money, So whenever there's a lot of volatility, definitely keep this platform in mind, because I've found it very, very, very useful. Try to see another final trade I want to leave you guys on. Yeah, this is a good one too, kind of fun. If you wanted to buy the 26,040 and buy the 26,020 bear and the 26,040 bull, you would pay 0.4 and 0.28, and you'd essentially be betting that price either expires above 26,040 or below 26,020. And if either of those happened, you would make a fair amount of money. There's just a lot of different strangle plays or option straddle plays that you can take here based on this kind of thing. And now look at this. The 26,040 bear contract is now trading at 0.33 or 0.28 now. Look at that fall. I'm actually going to have to probably buy one of these, because I think that price will probably expire below 26,040. I just want to wait till we get to the top. So yeah, that is this platform. I'm probably going to buy 10 for 0.16. Seems very, very cheap. Do you see just how weirdly underpriced these are? If Bitcoin just goes down to here, 8 basis points, you would make, let's see if it went through. Yeah, I paid 0.18. I basically risking $1.8 to make $10. And all I need to have happen is for price to go to 26,040, and I win. That's all. So with that, happy trading. These are really cool contracts, and I'm going to leave a link in the description below. If you guys have any questions in them, just join the Discord and you can find out a little bit more. They're pretty cool. And again, I can't vouch for this platform, but I've made money there. So with that, happy trading, and I will see you guys in the next one.